You're watching News 12 Overtime, brought to you by Pioneer Metal Depot.
Welcome to Overtime. I'm Rick Nyman.
And I'm Brian Armstrong.
For Bradley Central, their rivalry with Walker Valley every year is so nice. They'd love to play the Mustangs twice.
My favorite was when I talked to the Mustangs. They said, no, we get it right. We don't win that often. And that's a little bit of an understatement. The neighbors have won 16 of the last 17 matchups. For the last 2 years, Walker Valley has been in the game in the fourth quarter, but hasn't been able to come out with a win. Let's see if it's different this time around. Bradley Central ready for a battle against Walker Valley, and so is the band. Bradley Central with the carry. Ball pops out, and it's recovered by Walker Valley's Elijah Pugh. Eli Denton pumping the crowd up and then gives them something to build on that emotion. A long carry down the sidelines. That drive would stall. However, Bradley Central would be backed up to their own 28, and it's a fake. Jackson Wilson holds on to it for the last second, and it's caught by Marcus Gorey Jr. Enough for a first down and a whole lot more. The fake punt goes all the way for 6. That's insane. Let's call this the Evans Fortzel and Tucker Omby drive. Swarnsel finds Omby for a fresh set of downs. Omby again, this time with a spectacular grab, just snatching it out of the air, then showing the emotions on the sidelines. And third down and long, Swartzel running for his life, able to uncork it. Pretty good pass right here, and finds who else but Omby, who reels it in for the score. 7-6 Walker Valley leads, but they would be leading all the way up to the end, and Bradley Central would kick a game-winning field goal, 22-21. Now we head just down the road, Mcminn County at Cleveland. Now defensive fans are going to love this, and you got to love the Minions too. But let's take a look at the second quarter. Game tied at 0, and another fourth down stop. And then right before the end of the half, Drew Lambert rolls out under pressure. His arm is swatted. Ball is picked off by Caden Melton, and that ends the half at 0-0. Third quarter, same score. Another fourth down stop by Cleveland. Mcminn just couldn't quite get it done, and the D celebrating that. Then both stops. And why not in the fourth quarter with it still 0-0? You go for a field goal, 46 yards, and it's good. 3-0 Mcminn. But Cleveland was able to manage a fourth quarter score and win 6-3 over Mcminn County. Other scores, Heritage wins 24-9 over East Hamilton, and Signal Mountain wins 23-7 over Soddy. Other scores throughout the area, we have Trine just laying it on Lafette, 45-7, and then LFO squeaks out a narrow 6-point victory, 13-7. COVID robbed us of a pretty neat matchup last year between Christian CCS and the host, South Pittsburgh.
Actually, it was Chattanooga Christian that was supposed to host South Pitt last year. Luckily, there was no cancellation this time around, as the Chargers were indeed able to hook up at CCS against the Pirates. CCS doesn't stand for Chattanooga Christian School. It's Chattanooga Cuteness, as the Chargers take the field with kindergartners. CCS hoping to school the Pirates. Not on this play. Jordan Gile gets pressured. His pass gets picked. Jaden Mount has it for South Pitt. Makes a good return. Pirates, though, fumbled it right back to CCS. Then from about the 3, give to Boo Carter. He muscles in 7-0 Chattanooga Christian. Then Carter demonstrates why college recruiters like his playmaking ability. Watch this. Whoop! The cutbacks on this play are incredible. Boo turns it into a 19-yard touchdown catch, 14-0. Second quarter, Pirates in CCS territory, looking to throw. But reading the play all the way, who else? Boo Carter. He's a threat to go the distance anytime he has the football in the open field. He migrates into South Pitt territory after a nice return. Then from the 13, it's Javoris Havis. He flashes a couple of sweet spins and goes in for the touchdown. That made it 21-0. Boy, CCS, they win this one big. The final score, 41-0. McCallie battling Woodward Academy. Big Blue up 14-13 at halftime. War Eagles got the ball to start the third, and McCallie's chosen Lacombe crashes the party. Nice sack. More from the Big Blue defense. Xavier Gagne gets his paw on the ball carrier and says, come here. No gain on the play. Later in the quarter, Jay St. Hilaire over the middle to Carson Gentle. He got behind the defense, and he's going to do some big damage. He rumbles 54 yards to the 20. Drive stalls. In comes Elliott Arnold. 31-yard field goal attempt. Nothing to it. It's 17-13. 2:33 left of the game. Still 17-13 McCallie. 4th and 2 from the Woodward 20. McCallie goes for it. Tario Price, the stretch. He got the first down. McCallie runs out the clock as they go on to win it 17-13, their 18th straight victory. And other scores from Friday night: Central, a tough one on the road. They fall to Franklin County 47-14. Silverdale, they fall to Franklin Road Academy 35-0. Elsewhere, Stone Memorial beats East Ridge 35-6. In Polk County, they down Sequoia, the final 22-13. Still ahead, Coahulla Creek upset Northwest Whitfield in triple overtime last season.
See what they can do in an encore, or if Northwest Whitfield can successfully seek its revenge.
You're watching News 12 Overtime, brought to you by Pioneer Metal Depot.
Coahulla Creek shocked the world last year, upsetting Northwest Whitfield in a doozy, triple overtime.
The loss had to be tough spot to stuffer for the Bruins, but they get another chance and a crack at their Whitfield County rival on Friday. Colts coming to this one charged up, hoping to be able to pull off another upset opening drive. Case Kinnaman hits Nathaniel Tilley, who runs it into a wall of tacklers. Same drive, Kinnaman bobbles the snap, but able to recover it and hits Douglas, who turns it upfield for a nice game. Drive would stall, however. Bruins offense slow to start, but here's a pickup. Owen Booker linking up with Isaiah Foster for a first down. Early second quarter, still scoreless. Kinnaman hits Manny Dominguez, who scores after a nice run after the catch. 6-0 Colts. Another close game, but Northwest Whitfield comes out victorious, 35-31. Sequatchie County at Marion County. Peyton Campbell throws the ball to Braden Johnson, and then just a couple plays later, Peyton Campbell would go up. Oh, well, you've got to finish the great catch, getting ahead of myself on a touchdown score, but that grab is certainly exceptional. And then he keeps it himself here and does the work all by himself and gets into the end zone. The next Marion drive, Tilton Pickett hands it off to Alex Condra, who he'll do the rest, and he'll start nicely with a stiff arm, and no one within a galaxy of him, as he's gonna score 6. And then why not Peyton Campbell keeping it again? And guess what? He's gonna do just a little bit more with the same result, another touchdown for him. And the final in this one, Sequatchie County 50-47 over Marion County. We didn't have a lot of scores in the high numbers, but that certainly is one right there. Other scores throughout the area, another high one, over 100 points combined. Pickens against North Murray, with North Murray winning 54-50, and then Mcminn Central winning 42-21 over Tellico Plains.
Also, we had Tyner. They beat Grundy County 39-6. Meigs County went on the road and lost by 10 to the Kings Academy. And other scores from Friday night: Calhoun in Georgia, they get a 1-point win over Gardendale 31-30. Armucci by 3 over Gordon Lee 17-14. Whitwell, they were at home. They got a victory over Huntland 37-21. And Moore County, too much for Bledsoe County as they win that one at 33-24.
Still ahead, Baylor taking on Ensworth on the road, looking to move to 2-0. Plus, after not facing each other last year, Red Bank and Ottawa square off again. Red Bank looking to go 2-0, and Ottawa trying to get back to 500.
You're watching News 12 Overtime, brought to you by Pioneer Metal Depot.
Ottawa gave up 52 points in their season-opening loss to East Hamilton.
Yeah, that's not good, and it wouldn't get any easier for the Owls in Week 2 as they tangled with a talented Red Bank team. Friday marked the home opener for Red Bank. First quarter, we joined this A.D. Crutcher run already in progress. He's taking it deep into Owls territory. That led to Red Bank's first score on this short run from Crutcher. Later in the first half, quarterback Jake Brune for Red Bank. He breaks free of the pressure. Nice pickup, nice slide. But the Lions' good fortunes did not continue. Looking to score. The ball is punched free and the Owls recover. Owls' defense was better, but they still lost by a final score of 19-0. To the overtime scoreboard, Baylor, they went to 2-0 as they beat Innsworth 35-17. Boyd Buchanan all over Davidson Academy 39-10. Dade County, they won their rivalry game over North Sand Mountain 50-13. Southeast, they down Gordon Central 34-21. And Hickson and Notre Dame came up victorious 28-5.
The News 12 Overtime Cheer Cam, brought to you by S&S Auto Repair.
After this break, we'll have this week's Scholar Athlete of the Week. And it's not too often that you hear someone yelling "Goose" at a coach. That is unless you're on the Ottawa football game and find out the story of how Goose got his name.
You're watching News 12 Overtime, brought to you by Pioneer Metal Depot.
It's not often you see a bunch of Owls led by a Goose, unless you're in Ottawa. Goose Manning is back in his second season as the head coach of the Ottawa Owls.
And chances are you're not going to forget someone whose name is Goose.
When I was a senior in high school, I thought I was getting booed at wrestling matches.
Ottawa head football coach James Manning is known by many as Goose, and he has his grandfather and Timmy to thank for the nickname.
When I was born, a flock of geese flew over the hospital, and it was supposed to be a joke. My granddad was like, "Hey, let's call him Goose." You know, Indians used to name their kids after something at birth, and so it's supposed to be a joke, and it just kind of stuck. It was kind of in the family, and then actually my dad was yelling it at a football game, and they put it in the paper as Goose Manning, and from then on, like I was a sophomore, and from then on, that was it. Like they printed it on my state bracket, everything.
Although his players call him Coach Manning, his family wasn't going to break tradition.
Part of that is like, you know, I introduced myself as Coach Manning, but I've had cousins that went to school here, and they're not going to call me Coach Manning in the building, so they'll call me Goose and all that. But a lot of the kids will at least add coach to it, and I appreciate that.
When he was wrestling for Ottawa High School, he thought he was actually being booed during a match.
One of my buddies, Jay Rudball, his dad would always go, "Goose," but like in the gym, it sounded like I was getting booed, and I was like, the first time it happened, I was like, "Man, that's not very nice. I'm only 17, 18 years old, you know." And then finally, I figured out what they were yelling. I was like, "Okay, that's pretty cool." But at first, I was a little hurt by it.
And if you want to make a Top Gun joke or a Manning family joke because of his name, you aren't being original.
I've been getting that joke outside of the Mother Goose thing to my mom every now and then. The "Oh, where's Maverick" joke has been going around for a long time too. So I'm no stranger to that. And then with my last name being Manning, everybody asking if we're related to Peyton and Eli.
This week's Scholar Athlete of the Week sends us to Bradley County. It's Knox Watson.
Scholar Athlete of the Week, supplied by Wholesale Supply Group.
Knox is an all-state linebacker for the Bradley Bears. He had 104 tackles last season. He also plays offense as needed. He was elected captain by his peers this season, and he also is a talented wrestler. That's something very common for Bradley, and runs track. He also maintains a high GPA and works part-time. Knox is beginning his college path with some dual enrollment classes at Lee University this year, and Knox pushes himself to be the best in all endeavors.
Speaking of good linebackers, Walker Valley's All-State linebacker Eli Denton is in his senior season, and despite all of his previous success, he's already achieving new heights. That story is next.
You're watching News 12 Overtime, brought to you by Pioneer Metal Depot.
It doesn't take long to recognize special, and Walker Valley's Eli Denton is special on the defensive side of the ball. An all-state linebacker last year where he had over 100 tackles.
But in his senior year, the defensive standout has new responsibility, and he's already achieved some new accomplishments.
Walker Valley's Eli Denton is a defensive force.
Love the game. I've always just felt like I've known what I've been doing out there, and I just feel comfortable playing my position.
This year he's picked up right off where he left last year, except now he's done something for the first time.
It got to be the pick six. It has to be the pick six because I've never had a pick in the game, and I don't know, it was just crazy.
After his first career INT, he had one thought.
Don't fumble. I wanted to go score, but I didn't want to fumble for the team.
He's such a smart kid, and he understands, hey, in that moment, the worst thing that can happen here, the worst thing that can happen from this point forward is I lose the ball back. So he just understands the game. But I guarantee you, once he realized, okay, I'm not going to fumble, that his goal was to get in the end zone.
It felt great. I heard all the fans cheering and everything, so it really just kind of lifted me up.
Detton and Coach Akins called it a defensive team pick six.
Jackson Gibson has been a dominant player for us now for 2 years. He's the one that tipped the ball to go into his hands. You know, if you watch the film, the guys were leading him into the end zone. There's probably 6 guys leading him into the end zone, trying to get him there, blocking in front of him. So it was definitely a defensive team play.
And this year you will see Detton on both sides of the ball.
This year we're asking him to do a little more and come over to the offensive side of the ball and run the football. Just his leadership within our team is unbelievable.
You can go a long ways in football if you don't fumble. Week 2, you figure the offense is starting to find its groove a little bit.
Well, sometimes it does, and if anything else fails, you can always just rely on the punter. Spoiler alert, let's take a look at our top 5 plays of Friday night.
All righty, at number 5, it's running back Javorius Havis of Chattanooga Christian. He's a big fella. Got to wrap him up to bring him down. He hits the spin zone to the end zone, a 13-yard touchdown run. Chargers found the end zone a lot on Friday night as they beat South Pittsburgh 41-0.
Number 4 sends us out to Walker Valley versus Bradley Central. Evan Sporsel running for his life, somehow gets away, gets the pass off. That's a good pass too. And Tucker Omby reels it in for the score. He's mobbed by his teammates on the support, just loved all around. I mean, just look. Okay, under pressure, and this is all on 3rd down, and it results in 6. But Walker Valley does not get this touchdown, and we'll see more of this game later on.
At number 3, it's Boo Carter of Chattanooga Christian. That name may top Goose Manning. Who knows? He's a playmaker, Boo Carter, and he shows why on this play. The stops and starts on the cutbacks drives the defense nuts. He took that slant pass going one way, ran the opposite way for the touchdown, 19 yards in all. Carter returns kicks as well, but South Pitt wouldn't kick it to him. I wonder why. Boo and the boys enjoyed a 41-0 victory, as we mentioned earlier.
You could say he's scaring South Pitt just a little bit. Number 2 is a simple but sweet play. Okay, maybe not so sweet. An absolute stiff arm just all the way down, and then no one between him and Pater. Just think of how great it has to be when you just put someone on their backside and know there's no one stopping you on the way to the end zone. Number 1, sorry, got so taken aback, just blown off by this fake punt that somehow he throws it at the last second. It's caught, and there's no one from him to the end zone.
Marcus
Gordon Jr. Fake punt for 6. Also, let's just talk about for a moment how gutsy it is to run a fake punt from your own 28-yard line. That's our number 1 play.
It's a great call when it works.
It is a great call. We're
and it
questioning
worked
if it doesn't.
on Friday night.
It definitely did, and that was the first touchdown of that incredible game.
Wow. Moving along to college football, good news for the Vols receiving corps on Friday. Southern Cal transfer Brew McCoy has been ruled eligible, and he will be able to play in Tennessee's season opener next Thursday. McCoy is a former 5-star recruit, but he didn't play last season for the Trojans due to off-the-field issues. In high school, McCoy was teammates with current Alabama QB Bryce Young. Getting a talented receiver back in the fold has to be good news for Vols starting quarterback Hendon Hooker.
Still have 100% faith in Brew. I believe that he's going to be clear to play. Very excited for the whole receiving corps. They worked their tails off this whole offseason. Like I said in previous, just previous quotes. Every time I'm in the building, they're in the building, on the jugs, extra film, you know, whatever it may be.
Yeah, college football actually kicks off today, Brian. A few games, Vanderbilt at Hawaii, Nebraska, Northwestern playing over in Ireland. But it's next Saturday when we get the full slate of games. And, of course, Tennessee getting the jump start on Thursday night, as we mentioned, as they kick off their season against Ball State. So football, we've had a lot of high school, but now the college and pros are going to be rolling right in.
I can't wait. And when I think of Irish lineage, I definitely think of Nebraska and Northwestern.
You have a funny way of thinking. That's it for Overtime. We'll see you next Saturday. Goodbye.